Hi, friends. Today I'd like to talk about forgiveness. This morning, a dear client of mine shared with me how she gets enraged by her husband, even though she is doing so many exercises to let go and forgive. She is just unable to stop blaming him. She is unable to get a grip on her rage. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to talk about forgiveness and why we find it so difficult to forgive. So I was in exactly this space that she is in today about 5 to 10 years ago. I was unable to forgive someone. The rage in me would come up quite uncontrollably over triggers that were insignificant. Even then, even when I was gripped by rage, I knew even then that the triggers were insignificant. That made me go down a journey of self-discovery. I asked myself, why am I enraged when there is no valid reason? Even though I am enraged, I cannot kid myself that there is a good enough reason to be enraged. But still, I know I am blaming this person. What am I blaming this person for? I didn't have an idea. I persisted with the self-discovery. Instead of going through futile forgiveness exercises day after day, which I knew would not work for me at that time, I decided I was not going to focus upon the anger. I was not going to focus upon the blame. In fact, I was not going to focus upon that person at all. I decided, I chose to focus upon myself. And I made a striking discovery. As I worked with myself, looking deep within every day, understanding the emotions that lay beneath the thick layer of anger, as I connected to those emotions, as I allowed those emotions to talk to me, to educate me about the real wounding that lay within my inner child, I realized that I would not be able to forgive anyone unless I forgive myself first. The rage that we express is a cover for the deep inner pain that we are going through. Sometimes this inner pain comes from guilt and shame. Sometimes it comes from fear. Sometimes it comes from hopelessness. Sometimes it comes from a sense of acute helplessness. All of these emotions and more that you might feel are due to the fact that we do not love ourselves enough. Our self-care routine, our self nurturing process is so incomplete and sometimes so completely absent that we are unable to embrace ourselves, we are unable to accept the flaws that lie within us, we are unable to come to terms with the horrid things that we believe we have done, and we are unable, therefore, to forgive ourselves. When we are not able to forgive ourselves, we will not be able to forgive someone else. If you wish to reconcile, if you wish to resolve a relationship that is fraught with blame, then do not focus on the relationship, but focus upon yourself. It is not material whether the self-discovery process takes 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months or more. What is important is that you start on the self-discovery process and you continue upon it till you have been able to forgive yourself. Once you forgive yourself, you will be pleasantly surprised to find that you feel no need to forgive others. There is an understanding within you that is so complete. This understanding comes from recognizing your wounds, recognizing what wounded you, recognizing how another's behavior caused you to be wounded, how circumstances around you caused you to feel guilty, to feel ashamed, to feel helpless, to feel hopeless. When you realize the kind of power that you gave others, that you gave the situations, that you gave your external environment, you shall instantly feel a desire to take back that power into yourself, to reclaim it, and to become the strong, beautiful soul in an embodied form that you truly are. When you feel this empowerment, you stop being a victim. Anger and blame comes from inner victimhood. You give your power away to the external each time you feel that you have been victimized, each time you feel that you have been wronged. When you are empowered, when you have completed your process of self-forgiveness and then begun the joyous process of self-care and self-nurturing and self-love, you will not give your power away. You will not be a victim, and therefore you will find that your desire, sometimes your go-to pattern of blaming someone else for what you feel, has completely been eliminated. As soon as you stop feeling the need to blame others, you take on self-responsibility. You begin to acknowledge, recognize, and live with this awareness that whatever you feel are your own feelings. You own them, you accept them, you take responsibility for them. Taking responsibility is not about finding fault. You don't find fault with yourself, because if you do, you shall have to start the entire process of self-forgiveness all over again. Self-forgiveness is about taking the responsibility without feeling any guilt, any shame. Self-forgiveness and self-acceptance is about looking at yourself, flaws and all, with all your ugly spots and blemishes and scars, and still recognizing the beauty, still recognizing the power, and still recognizing the divinity. When you recognize these three in you, the beauty, the power, and the divinity, you do not have to try to recognize them in others. It happens naturally. What we see in ourselves, we always see in another. And when you see in another beauty, power, and divinity, in spite of all the flaws, then you find that there is no anger, there is no blame, there is no victim, there is no bully, there is no tyrant. To help you on this process of self-forgiveness, there is a Bach Flower Remedy that is very, very effective. And that remedy is holly. All our illnesses, all our diseases stem from lack of love. Why is there lack of love within us? Because there is the victim, because there is the bully, because there is the tyrant, because there is anger, because there is envy, because there is bitterness, because there is resentment, because there is grief. All of these cause lack of an inner environment of love. Please remember, my dear friends, love is a force. It is the force that creates this universe. It is the force that has created you and it has created me. When we reintroduce this force into every cell of our being, when we reintroduce this force into our thoughts, into our words, into our living actions, there is instant recovery, there is instant balancing, there is instant realignment. This realignment brings with it health, which is physical, mental, and emotional. Holly helps you to realign. Holly helps you to love yourself. Holly helps you to accept and forgive yourself. Holly helps you to nurture yourself. There are 38 Bach Flower Remedies, and each one of them is amazingly strong. But in my process, I do believe that holly has played the most important role. If there is any way I can help you to start on your process of self-forgiveness and consequently to enjoy happy relationships with all, please do reach out to me. I have included in the description below the details of how you can reach me, how you can contact me. I wish you happiness, I wish you self-forgiveness, and I pray that the universal force of love becomes a 24/7 force once again in your life, and this time forevermore. Love you.